let's do an energy check, because I don't know if you're like me, if you're feeling or picking up that the energy is shifting, like things are about to speed up or things are about to shift very quickly. That's kind of the energy I've been getting, right? So I'm using our Moonology Oracle cards, this one, and we're going to give it a quick shuffle and see what we get. Okay, so that one just flew out and went under the chair. One moment, please. Okay, let's see. So it says, ooh, all right, well, now this is a good thing. It says a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So you need to look it up and see. By the full moon in Cancer, right? I don't know when that's going to be. You can always like do is it Astro Week, or just Google and see when the next full moon in Cancer is. Whatever you've been going through is about to be resolved. And maybe that's why I'm kind of picking up that energy. Like things are kind of like shifting, and they're shifting quickly. And so maybe it was a situation that was kind of stuck, you know, and you were at an impasse and nothing seemed to be happening. And then all of a sudden, boom, things are going to shift and it's going to get resolved. And you're going to be like, oh my goodness, you know, I was waiting all this time. There was all this drama surrounding it, or all this drama leading up to it. And then boom, things are just going to get resolved, right? Because right underneath here, you know what it is? Some of you are coming to the realization that something you're in and that you've been fighting for, maybe even resisting changing, resisting closing on a chapter, resisting moving on. We've been getting that message quite a bit. That nothing will come of this situation, right? Because that's what you're getting here. You're getting nothing will come of this situation. Void, of course, moon, as my neighbor are testing their little trike, making all that noise. And anywho, so you're realizing this now, and instead of digging in your heels and resisting change, you're now going to say, you know what, this isn't working. Let me figure out a resolution. So to compromise, right? To put an end to what I'm currently in, just so that I can have some movement in my life. So that's why I've been picking up that energy, like things are getting ready to shift very quickly. So that's beautiful energy, right? Because some of you are now looking at things from a different perspective, from a much larger perspective, maybe even from a mature perspective, right? And this could have started in Sagittarius season. So maybe sometime around November, you started to have this shift. If you didn't realize that this was happening, because it says, look at the big picture, full moon in Sag. So also look and see when that full moon is. And then exactly, some of you are finally taking the step, or you will, to surrender to the divine. You know, sometimes when we've been pushing and we've been trying, we want things to go a particular way, you know, we kind of come to the realization, you know, when we've kind of like hit rock bottom, or realize that, you know, no matter what I do, everything seems to be going in a particular direction, which is not good. You know, it's like difficulty and challenges and failures, and so this is like I'm making things more difficult than I need them to be. And the reason why I may feel a little blocked right now, or I feel opposed, is because the divine's really trying to save you from yourself, right? And so that's what some of you are realizing, that these obstacles, these blockages, this slowdown was deliberate. You know, Spirit was putting these things in your way so that you could finally, you know, look at your situation for what it is, accept it, and bring about a resolution rather than resistance. So this is beautiful energy. Let's see if we get one more, and then we'll clarify. Take time to breathe out. So yes, so for some of you who are going to be going in this situation, and then see what I mean about the energy quickening, because there are different groups. Here it says a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries, and then we already have a full moon in Aries recently. So anyway, for some of you who are already here, you know, where you've accepted a situation, you know, you're no longer going to be resisting, you're no longer going to be fighting. I've heard throwing in the towel, because you realize, you know what, this is a waste of time, right? Why push water uphill? You're now going to be taking the time to breathe out. You know what I mean? Time to heal. Time to kind of integrate whatever happened, right? See it for what it was, and heal. Not necessarily in terms of going out and starting new things, but just sitting with a particular ending, right? That's some of you. For those of you who haven't yet gotten here, you know, and soon you'll be finding yourself surrendering to the divine and letting the divine work out what's for your highest good. The advice is, once you've gotten through this situation, take the time to breathe out. Take the time to kind of be still, to reflect on what happened, right? So that you don't repeat it, right? Because I'm getting, for some of you, it's a very trying situation. And just basically focus on your healing is what I'm hearing. So, all right, let's clarify. So we're going to clarify with the Sufi Tarot, so this one, and let's see what else we get. But I think the message is pretty clear. So a personal issue reaches resolution. That is beautiful, because for some of you, I think this has been dragging on for a very long time. All right, Spirit, let's clarify. A personal issue reaches resolution. A personal issue reaches resolution. This is a relatively new deck. I don't use it a lot. Ooh, look look at this. As I was talking about the divine, right? Look at this. Beautiful. This is the Wheel of Fortune. This is a 10. And it's the same thing I was saying, completion, right? And so this again was being orchestrated by the divine. So as you close a chapter, you're going to be amazed at the new things that will come in, right? So basically right now, the advice is don't resist this, whatever is ending. Yeah, look at this, justice, right? This is karma, right? This is this spirit coming in and balancing the scales. This is meant to happen. Look at the bigger picture. Tell me more about look at the bigger picture. Here you go. Yep, because some of you were vacillating, right? Because you got the Two of Pentacles. So you may have been going back and forth, like, should I do this? You may have been of two minds. And now you're starting to see things from a higher vantage point, and you're feeling more comfortable about your decision. You know why? Because some of you, because here you have the Queen of Swords reversed. Some of you are dealing with a straight up witch, but starting with a B. Because when the Queen of Swords reversed, this is a nasty, bitter, whether it's feminine, whether it's female in body or masculine in body, this is a nasty, bitter person, right? And for good reasons, because they've had some injustices happen. But sometimes what happens is when we don't integrate the lesson, which is what Spirit is saying, right? And we don't look at the bigger picture, and we don't learn the lesson and focus on our healing, we tend to just take it in and sit on it, and it festers, and we become bitter. Right? And so we're very, can be very cutting with our words. And this is somebody who's very cutting with their tongue, can be very emasculating, right? And so Spirit is saying right now, some of you are in a situation, you may be in a situation with a Queen of Swords, and you're realizing, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to be in an environment with somebody who's bitter, who's cutting, who diminishes me. And so you're looking at the bigger picture, and you're allowing this situation to close up because you're realizing you deserve better. You know what I mean? So when you're in this back and forth kind of energy, right? And again, whether you're feminine body or male in body, you're realizing I deserve better, right? So let's clarify, take time to breathe out, and then we'll wrap it up. Take time to breathe out. Tell me more about take time to breathe out. Take time to breathe out. Oh, sometimes this happens. You shuffle and you shuffle and you shuffle. All right, here we go. We got a couple. And here again is the Justice card above the deck. So again, balance is coming into a situation. It's all being divinely orchestrated. And then here you have Judgment. Yeah, right? So Judgment is a rebirth. Judgment is, again, realizing I deserve better. You know what I mean? Why am I going to stay here and be miserable? I was telling somebody the other day, God didn't bring us here to suffer, right? And this is what you're starting to realize. And as you're taking this time to breathe out, all these things are going to come to you, especially when you start to see your life start to feel better. You're going to sit there and you're going to say, why the hell did I stay in this situation for that long? Why was I putting up with this BS for so long, right? And that's what's going to happen. You're going to find yourself finding happiness again. Look at that, man, the Sun card. Look at her. She's just delighted, right? And this lion's there, and she's had the courage, right, to do what she needed to do to walk the path that she knows was going to be in alignment and make her extremely happy, right? And then here you have Page of Wands. So look at this. These are beautiful new things that are going to be birthed. Lots of new activities and excitement and enthusiasm. I mean, she's just dancing up there in the I don't know, in the sky or whatever. It's not really the sky. It looks kind of dark. But she's just floating on air, and this match has been lit. And look at all the light that's buzzing around her, because to me, that's kind of like Spirit. Spirit's supporting her. Spirit's bolstering up. Spirit's telling her, go, start this new beginning, find your passion again. And so that's what's going to happen when you do this. As you're sitting with this, as you're finding, I just hear like ease coming back into your life, and you're not dealing with the turmoil and the stress and the drama. You're going to find yourself being open, like your energy is just going to clear, everything's going to shift, and you're just going to be amazed. You're going to feel like this portal has opened up, and you're having all these wonderful opportunities come your way, but it's because you dropped some really negative energy, right? Because the negative energy can do a lot. I mean, you may not realize it when you're in it, right? But once you start to get out of that energy, you're going to be amazed at how quickly your whole demeanor and frequency shifts, and new, more positive things start coming into your life. So yeah, just remember, a personal issue reaches resolution. Very good. All right. Oh, this is reading was helpful. Take care. Bye-bye.